If you're easily offended, hot topic for content creators. This is where I pitch a hot topic to you guys, and then you guys turn around and create your own video on this particular hot topic. And then if you tag me in your video, then I can in turn do like a response or do like a reaction type video, or react to it live on air on a future live stream. Or you can just go ahead and join in on the conversation by leaving your comments down below or checking out any of our previous and ongoing hot topic threads in the playlist. I never thought that I'd have to, have this conversation. But apparently in this day and age, as the lines between reality and fiction continue to blur, I think we need to talk about representation in fiction. Never thought it would be a spicy topic, but apparently it is. So for those of you who don't know, allow me to pose a few questions that I believe reflect the general sentiment surrounding this subject based upon what I've observed from those who have had anything to say about it, at least in terms of it being a serious matter of concern. For instance, do you believe it is possible for an author's portrayal of an individual within their story who has a particular set of characteristics the author does not possess to be problematic if handled insensitively? Personally, I don't know what the word problematic means, especially within the context of fiction, but perhaps there's someone out there that would be so kind as to explain it to me. And if it's any help, you have my permission to go ahead and explain it to me as if I were an 11-year-old boy trapped inside of a macho man's body. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, can you call an author an ableist if they include characters that are handicapped, not just physically, but say perhaps the story features a retard, and those characters are written in such a way that could be perceived as unflattering? On the opposite side of the spectrum, is it ever okay for an author who is writing fiction, mind you, to villainize characters based solely upon their beliefs? This could include religion, political ideology, or any school of philosophical thought. And if we really want to get specific, should men consider it sexist for any female author to be representing male characters with a disparaging narrative, regardless of the character's race, ethnicity, or level of physical or mental ability? These are just a few examples of some of the questions that I've seen some readers taking to heart lately, over works of fiction, mind you. Of course, by readers, I mostly mean liberal white women, and subsequently the likes of their simpish, limp-wristed male counterparts who blindly echo the same sentiment without so much as giving it a second thought. Just as an aside, I couldn't help but notice that more often than not, many of these ladies just so happen to hold a college degree, or they are majoring in psychology. But perhaps that last part can be written off as just a coincidence. All I know is that I think it's important that I pitch this topic because a lot of the opinions I hear from these people sharing the subject simply don't represent my thoughts and feelings on the matter. Now, contrary to the level of hospitality I personally received on more than one occasion from some of these people, I want you to know that I am accepting of all opinions on this matter. An equal opportunity for a diversity of thought, if you will. In other words, I'm not going to stick you in timeout or block you on social media for simply disagreeing with me or for having any opinion that you think I may disagree with. This is how we have a productive conversation. But aside from discussing what makes an author problematic, we could talk about cultural appropriation and whether or not that's just another figment of someone's imagination, like a work of fiction written for a target audience that always seems to be in need of something to bitch about. We could also talk about the ways in which this subject affects the industry, with the rise of something I've heard referred to as sensitivity readers, and whether or not you believe it's necessary to hire a third-party rep to audit your work for problematic material before publishing it, or if you think that's just another fake job created by minority opportunists who want to scam highly impressionable and sympathetic Caucasians, aka bleeding heart liberals, out of their hard-earned trust fund money. So I'll be interested to hear what you guys have to say about this one, and don't be afraid to tell me how you really feel. Again, this is not a tyrannical echo chamber, so you are free to express your thoughts to me, regardless of how controversial you think they may be.